right, so I let the cat out of the bag yesterday with the video that I made about I'm starting to cut using the keto diet. I got like a barrage of questions about how to adjust your macros for cutting. So here's basically how you do it. Now, I've said this in a ton of videos, but I want to break it down for you. The idea of cutting, we're going to reduce as much body fat as possible and keep and retain as much lean muscle. Again, you want to be as big and strong as possible, but as lean as possible. So it's tough because you know you're going to have to cut calories to get there, but you want to retain that muscle. So here's how you do it. Once you've established a good keto macros, you're in ketosis, you've been at maintenance calories for a while, you're feeling it, you feel right about it, you're confident, it's just part of you, you know, it's second nature. That's when you start to make adjustments in your diet. Now, I recommend to anybody to lose fat slowly, okay? It takes years to pile it on. Why would you expect to get it off in a week or two? You just have to be patient with this stuff. And it's not always the answer that everyone wants to hear, but at the end of the day, you're gonna retain more muscle, you're gonna feel better, and you're gonna actually, I think, be able to transition and maintain a leaner state if you just take your time and transition to it slowly. So here's how you do it. From your maintenance calories, I want you to go to your Fitness Pal, and remember you always base your protein on no more than 0.8 grams of lean body mass. So what's lean body mass? You take your body, 200 pounds let's say, and let's say you're at 20% body fat. 20% of 200 is 40, if you know how to do the math on that, which leaves 200 minus 40 is 160. The 40 would be 20% fat, which is pure fat. So if you're 200 pounds and you're 20% body fat, you have 40 pounds of fat on your body. 160 pounds is like your residual baseline. That's the lean, you know, you can't ever get to 160 because 0% doesn't work. I mean, you die. But that's just saying that's what your body's lean metabolic mass is 160 pounds. So take 160 times 0.8 or less for protein as a max, okay? That's the constant. You never change your protein. You don't need to go up from that. You don't need to go down from that, especially when cutting. Maintain your protein, okay? The second thing is your carbs on keto are always going to be under 30 grams when you're cutting. I mean, it's general. There might be a little bit more on a really high caloric needs type physique or whatever, but most people keep them super low. So there's two constants. Your protein, 0.8 grams per lean pound, and your carbs, which are ultra low. Now your fats, this is where you adjust. Remember, you've taught your body that fat is fuel, okay? You've been eating fat, tastes great, we're adapted, we're in ketosis, everything is awesome there. You've been eating it, and I call that dietary fat. Now, if you're thriving at 2,000 calories a day, that's your maintenance or whatever, let's just use 2,000, and you wanna start burning body fat, here's what you do. You maintain protein, you maintain carbs, and you reduce fat, okay? Start with 20 grams a day for a week straight, which is 200 calories, that's it. 20 grams of fat a day. So you've reduced your diet from 2,000 down to 1,800. All you do is you only cut fat. Remember, your body fuels on fat. So if you're just removing fat, it's gonna grab that extra 20 grams, 200 calories out of your body, stored fat. Now, after a week, give that a shot. And then what I recommend anyone does that's trying to cut is after the first week, either cut another 100 or 200 per day for the whole week. So you start off week 1 minus 200, then the week 2 add 100, so now minus 300. Week 3, another 100. So you keep going into a deficit the further you get. Now, you will get to a point where you're gonna feel like absolute dog crap. And that's about where you probably don't want to go too much lower because again, this isn't like a hyper calorie cut. It's just a slow transition. And that's why I think 100 calories a day, which is 10 grams of fat, that's not even a tablespoon of coconut oil, is how you can trim down. Now, if you want to expedite or improve or even speed up the process, you burn fat by doing cardiovascular exercise. So you should already be training. If you're following me, you're probably already lifting at some level. Now you're gonna add cardio. I would recommend adding 500 calories burned 4 days a week. So it's 2,000 total calories a week. 2,000 total calories a week is what your goal is for cardio. And I want that's just to start. I mean, you'll probably step it up eventually, but just to transition. So 4 days, burn 500 calories. If you don't know what that feels like, you got to either go use a treadmill, a stair climber, a stationary bike, or something that tracks that to get a rough idea. Or there are calculators on jogging and different types of cardio that can help you kind of gauge where you're at and how much you're actually burning. So cardio is just like the diet. Each week you can add a little bit more to remove a little bit more, get deeper into a deficit and reduce it. But again, that's all you do, guys. You cut fat from your diet. You keep your protein and your carbs the same. The fat is the variable. That's the yo-yo that will change. That's the yo-yo that will produce the results. And you can compound the results and improve your fat burning by just increasing cardiovascular output. Again, don't overdo it. Listen to your body. Get adequate rest. Eat well, drink well, stretch well, all that stuff. Those are all just baselines. Those are concrete, like foundations. They don't change. The only thing that changes is how much fat you're consuming. If you have any more questions, again, I custom tailor this content to the stuff that you guys ask about. Getting ripped for summer is always fun. It feels great, and it's fun to experiment with your body. So take this stuff as a baseline, take this stuff as just an entry or a gateway, and then adjust it and listen to yourself. The best way for you to figure all this stuff out is through trial and error. There's no shortcuts. Good luck.
Yes, sir. Dad and Meth in the building.